Welcome to week 2 video of Python. So let's start. Let's say there are two brothers, Arun and Vinod, and they have their respective bank balances and they have their respective loans to clear. So we want to present this information in some variables. So let's say I'm defining a variable A, which is Arun's bank balance is um, let's say 1 lakh, right? And Vinod's bank balance is uh, 2 lakh 50,000. Okay. And Arun's loan is 2 lakhs and Vinod's loan is 1 lakh 50,000. Okay. So A is Arun's bank balance, B is Vinod's bank balance, and C is Arun's bank loan, and D is Vinod's loan. So if I show these four lines to someone, will they get any picture of what these values are? No, right? Because uh, if someone says A equals some value, B equals some value, and CD, no one will understand what those values are. So we should name our variables such that the name itself gives complete picture to whoever is reading about what that value is. So let me modify these variable names and let's see. Now I changed the variable names and gave them a more descriptive name, right? Now if I show these four lines to anyone, they will definitely understand that this value is Arun's bank balance and this value is Vinod's bank balance, and these are their respective loans. So we need to give uh, proper attention while naming our variables so that we give complete picture of what that variable contains to whoever is reading our code. So the variable names should be self-explanatory. So the same way, if we want to print the total family income, then we can add Arun's bank balance plus Vinod's bank balance, right? Let's name this total family savings maybe because it is bank balance, right? And then let's print total family six. See, we got 3 lakh 50,000, which is 1 lakh plus 2 lakh 50,000, right? And let me write something here. So, what is this green line? What do you think it is? These are called comments. We write comments to explain what our code is doing. So Python won't process or execute the lines which we write as comments. It's just for our reference only. Like here we are defining Arun's bank balance, right? So that's why we just wrote this line here so that whoever is reading our code will understand what that line is doing. So these comments are just to make the code more understandable. Okay. We write a hash followed by some statement which our code is doing. So the same way we can write uh, the same by replacing, right? So in that way we can write comments. so that whoever is reading our code will understand what's happening in that. Okay. Now, let's say I call n as 10 and print type of n. What do you think it'll print? 10 is an integer, so it printed int, right? So now k is n by 2, which is 10 by 2, and print n and print type of n. So what will this k contain? It just contains n by 2, which is 10 by 2, which we think is 5, right? So let's see. Okay, here we have to print k and type of k, right? See, it is printing float. So this k contains 5.0, not 5, not 5 as an integer. Because whenever we are dividing a number, even though the outcome of the division is an integer, it captures the value as a float value. Right, because 10 by 2 is 5. 5 is an integer only, not a float number. Right, but whenever we do this division, it captures the outcome of that division into a float value. So that's why we got the type of k also as float. Okay. Let's say x equals 30, y equals 40. Print x, print y. So it printed 30 and 40. So one way of assigning values to variables is this. And there is another way to assign. Okay, let's see that. We can assign two values to two variables parallelly, which is x comma y equals, let's say I want to store 15x and 16y. So now let's run it. See, it's printing 50 and 60. So this is also a valid way to assign values to the variables. And if I want to delete any variable, I just need to write del space that variable name. So now I want to delete the variable x. So I just wrote del x. So let's run it. Nothing happened, right? So now if I want to print x, let's see what it does. Let's run it. See, first it printed whatever is x and y, and then it deleted that x. And next, after it deleted x, when we want to print that x, now it is saying name x is not defined. Okay, it just completely deleted that variable x. And now let's do one thing. Let's say we name a variable n 50. Print n. So it's printing 50. Now we want to increment the value of n by 1. Okay, just we want to add 1 to variable n. So then we just need to do that n equals n plus 1, right? Now print n. So here what we did is we assigned the value of n as n plus 1, which is 15 plus 1. So 15 plus 1 equals n. So 16. Now this after this line, the variable n contains the value 16. So let's print and see. See, the 15 is the initial value and 16 is the value after incrementing it. And we can like replace this line with n plus equals 1. Now also it will do the same. Either n equals n plus 1 or n plus equals 1, they both give the same result. Now, let's try to print something. So, what do you think this line means? So, what we wrote here is print apple in pineapple. So, what does it do? Let's run and see. See, it's saying true. So, what it is doing is uh, this print statement returns true if apple is a substring of pineapple. See, it returns true when this string is present in this string, right? So, apple is present in pineapple. So, apple is a substring of pineapple. So, we use this keyword in to see whether this string is present in this string or not. So, if it is present, it prints true. So, if it is not present, let's see what it does. Let's say apples. Now, let's run it and see. See, it's giving false because this string apples is not there in pineapple. So, it is returning, it's printing false. Now, let's say I want to print. Okay. I just want to print it's a good day. So let's run and see what happens. See, it is giving an error, syntax error. So, see, Python can't differentiate between the single quotes and apostrophe. See, we are using apostrophe here after it to say it is. Uh, and it can't differentiate between these, and we are using this single quotes to enclose the string. So these both are same. This single quote and apostrophe are same. So it can't differentiate and like it doesn't know where the string is ending. So that's why it is giving an error. So uh, to make it run without error, we can like replace single quotes with these double quotes so that it doesn't have any confusion in doing that. See, now it's printing it's a good day. The same way, if we want to use the single quotes only, then you can, use a backslash here and then print. See, now also it is printing. It's a good day. So this backslash is needed to tell Python that this apostrophe is like this single quote is apostrophe only, but not the single quote which we use to enclose a string. Okay, now I'm trying to print something. Okay, let's run it and see. So it printed whatever I wrote in the print statement. So what if I want to see the output in two different lines. Okay, I want to see I am Anil in one line, and then I am from Hyderabad in another line. So for that, what we can just do is like we can write two different print statements, right? So, right. So let's remove this line. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it in a single line. Okay. So see, now I wrote two different print statements. So now I got how I wanted it to be displayed in two different lines. But what if I want the same output but with only one print statement? So I want only one print statement and the output should be in two different lines. So what do we need to do? So it's easy only. Let me write something. Let me just copy this and paste it here. And then I will use one thing. See, now let's remove this line also. And now let's run it and see. See, I got the same output. With only one print statement, I got the output in two different lines. So what change did I make? I just added this backslash n. So this backslash n adds a new line. So this is called an escape character in Python. So whatever we write after backslash, that is called an escape character, and this backslash n is used to print a new line. So it just printed first it printed I am Anil, and when it saw this backslash n, it printed a new line character, like it shifted to new line, and then printed the rest of the string in the new line. So in this way, we can print different lines uh, with only one print statement. So now I want to do something. Okay, let's name the variable my string and let's write. hmm, This is the first line. This is the second. So here we wrote a string of three lines, right? In the first line, we wrote this is the first line, in second, this is the second line, third, this is the third line. So, like, see, this whole thing is enclosed with single quotes as a string. So, let's try printing this string. Print my string. Let's see what it does. See, it is giving an error, syntax error. So, strings always should be defined in only one line. Uh, if we want to define them with single quotes or double quotes, right? So if we want to define multi-line strings, we need to use triple quotes. Okay, three single quotes. See, now I enclosed the whole string in three single quotes. Now when I try to print this, see, it is printing three lines in three different lines. So, like, this is the way to define multi-line strings. So we use three single quotes to define multi-line strings. Now let's see some string methods. Okay, what is a method? So we use methods to modify the strings in different ways. Okay, so let's see what these string methods are. So there are some methods which you can see here, which is lower, upper, capitalize, title, and swap case. Right. So here in this code column, you can see x equals Python string methods, and this is a string. This string which is defined to variable x. So this has like different cases, some letters in uppercase, some letters in lowercase, and all. So now what this print x dot lower does is it prints the string x by uh, lowering every character. Like it just prints the string x with all the characters in lowercase. The same with x dot upper. It prints all the characters in uppercase. And this capitalize keeps the first character capital and rest to be lowercase. And x dot title, what this does is, so whenever so for every word, the first letter will be capitalized and rest will be lowercase. Like this x dot swap case is just doing like lowercase will be turned to uppercase and uppercase will be turned to lowercase. The same way here, this is lower returns true if all characters in the string are in lowercase, and is upper returns true if all the characters in the string are uppercase. And is title returns true if the string follows the rules of a title. Okay. And in the same way, these are some more methods which you can pause and read, and you can try it yourself in this notebook. Uh, I'll give the link to this notebook, and you can try implementing these methods. Okay. And here are some more. Strip takes like if we mention strip of something, it cuts away whatever we give in the string. Okay, like here we gave hyphen, so it returns a trimmed version of the string by cutting out all the hyphens present in the input string. So in that way you can see these are some more methods. Please try them yourself to know what they do exactly. Don't just read and leave. Now, imagine a new movie is releasing in theaters, and it was rated 13 plus, which means all the people who are above 13 years are only eligible to watch the movie. So whoever are below 13 years are not eligible to watch the movie. So now let's write a Python code which takes the the birth year of the person and prints as input. It takes birth year of the person and it prints whether they are eligible to watch the movie or not. Okay. So let me write the code. So this is the code and let's analyze this. So first we are taking input of enter your birth year and converting it into an integer and storing it in birth year. And current year is 2024 and age is current year minus birth year, right? So now if age is less than 13, we are printing you are not eligible to watch this movie. Else, else means if age is not less than 13, we are printing you are eligible to watch and enjoy the movie. So let me run this and let me enter 2000. See, it's printing you are eligible to watch the movie. The same way if I give 2000 uh, 14. See, it's printing you are not eligible to watch this movie because the age of person who was born in 2014 is just 10, which is less than 30. So that's why it's printing you're not eligible to watch this movie. So these are called if else statements. So if is like these are self-explanatory, like nothing new here. So these are just some English statements. So if this condition is satisfied, do this. Else means if this condition is not satisfied, do something else. That's all. There is nothing complex in that. Okay, so these are if else statements, some basic thing. Okay, now let me write something. So here is a simple code, this which I'll explain. First, what we are doing is we are taking input of like we are asking the user to enter a number, and we are taking the input, converting into an integer, and storing it in this variable called number. And then, if that number is greater than 100, uh, print the number is large. And if that number is greater than 50, then print the number is medium. And if that number is greater than 10, then print the number is small. And else means if the number is less than or equal to 10, uh, maybe, then print the number is very small. Okay. So let's first run it. And it's asking me to enter a number. So I'll enter some number randomly, let's say 135, and enter. See, it is printing the number is large, number is medium, the number is small. It is printing all three statements. So why do you think it is? Because here we mentioned if the number is greater than 100, then print the number is large. So because the numbers which are above 100 are large numbers according to this statement. So then why is it printing medium and small also? So as we so if we observe it closely, we can see that this number 135 is uh, satisfying all these three conditions, right? It is greater than 100, and it is greater than 50 also, and it is greater than 10 also. So it is so as it is satisfying all these three if statements, it is printing all these three print statements also. So to avoid that, and to get only uh, this line, the number is large for this 135, we use something called elif. We just need to add el before if. First, let's write it and see, and then I'll explain. Okay, let's run it now. Let's enter the same number. See, now it's printing just the number is large. So, what happened here? What is the difference between if and elif? Elif means nothing but else if. Okay, else if. Both words combined together, it's called elif. Okay, this elif statement here will work only when this condition is not satisfied. See, when this first if condition is not satisfied, then it will uh, check this. And if it is satisfied, then it just prints this. And if this is also not satisfied, then it will go to this. So it's just like if number is greater than 100, then print the number is large. Else, if number is greater than 50, so this elif statement doesn't run, doesn't get executed if this condition is satisfied. Okay. You can explore more ways in Google where this elif is used. So just execute this code as it is by keeping elif and if if one time and elif one time. So then you will understand what difference is if and elif are making. Okay. So moving on, there are something called libraries in Python. Okay, like what are these libraries? So you can imagine these libraries as some toolkits which we bring into our code from outside. Okay, we import different libraries into our code depending upon our use to make our code simpler, like easy to write. So let's do something. I am importing a library called math. See, this math is a library which is present in Python. So now I am importing that library into my code. Okay, now that math library, the toolkit math came into my code. So now if I want to print square root of a number, let's say, I just need to specify print math dot sqrt of any number which we want to print the square root of, let's say 49. So now I want to print square root of 49. So I just imported math and wrote this print statement, print math dot square root of 49. Now run this and see. See, it is giving 7. 7 is the square root of 49. So if we run this line, this print statement without importing math, let's see what happens. See, it is happening because we had that imported before only. So take a new cell and uh, okay. Here it printed this 7 even though we removed that import math line because uh, we imported that math and it is still there. So it doesn't go until we mention this delete math. Okay. Now I am taking away that math which I imported. Okay, right. Now if I want to print the same statement which I printed after importing math, which is print math dot square root of 49. Now let's see what it does. See, now it is saying math not defined. So this statement works only when we import math, right? Now if we run it, it prints 7. Okay. We use this math library because if we want to manually write a function which calculates the square root of a number, it it is a very confusing process and long it takes so much time. So to make our work simpler, we just import math and uh, write this statement, and Python just calculates the square root for us. So the same way we can use, like, there is another library called random, which generates some random numbers. So if I want to print a random number, let's say print rand dot rand. So if I run this, it prints some random number which is in range of 0 to 1, right? So this, after importing this random library, if I write this print statement, it prints a value uh, which is between 0 and 1. So how many times I run, it gives some value which is bound between 0 and 1 only. See, it won't be less than 0. It won't be like, it will be neither less than 0 nor more than 1. It will always be between 0 and 1. So, in this way, importing libraries help us. In any program, let's say we want to generate some random numbers. So, there this random library comes handy. So, in this way, we can import some libraries to our code and use them wherever we want. So that's all for the second week, and I'll give the link of this collab file in the description. And make sure you go through all of these ones and try them yourselves. And don't forget to try these string methods. Okay, and thank you.